Silver Salmon Creek is located on the Cook Inlet, part of Lake Clark National Park, a pristine wilderness in Alaska. It is accessed only by boat or plane, and it is home to some of the most magnificent creatures on Earth. Join me as we journey to discover the wonders of coastal brown bears during their first summer in this vast and breathtaking landscape. As winter relinquishes its grip, the park awakens with the arrival of spring. Kittiwakes return, flowers begin to bloom, and the bears begin to come down from the mountains. The drama unfolds in stages as nature's cast takes the spotlight. The opening act belongs to the boars, driven by an instinctual pursuit of mates. Following close behind are the sows, unaccompanied by cubs this year, each carrying a story of their own. Then the second-year cubs make their grand entrance. Eager and exuberant, they venture forth under the vigilant gaze of their mothers, learning life's lessons one paw step at a time. But the crescendo of anticipation builds for the grand finale, the arrival of the year's newborns. Who are these fledgling protagonists of the coastal realm? Will these cubs grace the Silver Salmon Creek meadow with their presence? On a cloudy mid-June day, a familiar silhouette emerges at the fringes of the meadow. It's none other than Crimpear, a figure well known here. Her striking presence commands attention. A blonde-maned beauty with a left ear folded down in distinctive fashion. Crimpear has nurtured generations of cubs in the expanse of Silver Salmon Creek. However, tragedy cast its shadow upon her last litter, a trio of bright-eyed youngsters. A brutal encounter with a formidable boar robbed her of 2 innocent lives, leaving only a solitary survivor, a cub christened Penny. In the aftermath of this heart-wrenching loss, the bond between Crimpear and Penny intensified. Penny became the center of Crimpear's world, the sole recipient of her unwavering care and affection. With no siblings with whom to frolic, Penny found solace in Crimpear's company. In addition to mother, she took on the role of playmate, engaging in games that would help Penny learn the skills she would need as an adult. Now, Crimp has a new set of beautiful twins. With unsteady legs, they embark on a voyage of discovery, every inch of the world a canvas waiting to be painted with their paw prints. The passage of a few weeks heralds the long-awaited return of a living legend. It is the old sow. The matriarch reclaims her place in the meadow after a 2-season hiatus. For over a decade, she has been known simply as the old sow. Surpassing the average lifespan of 20 to 25 years, she has now reached her 3rd decade and stands as a living monument to tenacity and fortitude. In the coastal brown bear world, the typical rhythm dictates that sows part ways with their young after 2 summers, ushering them out into the world on their own. Yet the old sow chose to keep her previous litter for a 3rd summer, a gesture that raised eyebrows and fueled speculation. Had she reached the end of her breeding cycle? Her legacy as a mother fulfilled? 2 seasons passed without her presence, leaving questions hanging in the air. Had she sought the peace of solitude elsewhere? Or had the final curtain fallen on her journey? Now, as she returns to the embrace of the meadow, the old sow ushers in a new chapter, a tale of 2 new offspring whose story will play out beneath the expanse of the Alaskan sky. The time has come to initiate the young bears into their crucial education. Survival takes center stage, and that translates to one essential skill: eating, and eating with gusto. For the adult brown bears, it's a matter of consuming enough to pack on 3 to 6 pounds of fat daily during the summer months, a preparation for the impending winter. While the cubs currently rely on their mother's milk for vital nutrients, it's of paramount importance that they discover the gastronomic wonders the Alaskan coast has to offer. And so, the meadow becomes their first classroom. Indeed, a significant portion of their day is dedicated to grazing upon an array of grasses, sedges, leaves, and the occasional berry. Beyond mere menu choices, the maternal sows diligently share knowledge of the other inhabitants of the meadows. While bears reign supreme atop the food hierarchy, the fledgling cubs remain exposed and vulnerable. Their biggest threat, as we've already learned, is the big boars. This is Big Red, a behemoth amongst bears, commanding the respect and wide berth of every creature within his domain. With an estimated weight of 800 to 900 pounds, towering almost 8 feet tall, all of the sows retreat to the sanctuary of trees when Big Red arrives. All the other regulars defer to Old Sow, as her age and wisdom set her apart. The other bears all exist peacefully. Here's Crimpier's Penny, almost 4 years old now and doing well on her own. Sub-adult bears sometimes build coalitions to hang with for the summer. She's part of the 3 amigos traveling together here. Her bestie is Elvis. They are both looking a little unkempt as they begin to shed their old winter coats in preparation for new, more robust pelts for the coming winter. This lonely sub-adult is little Davy, not yet 2 years old. Her mother recently abandoned her so that she could mate again. Originally, Davy was misidentified as a male, but the name still seems to suit her. No matter what her gender, she has a difficult few years ahead. She is missing out on the lessons that cubs learn in the second summer with their mothers. She will need to learn how to clam on her own, or her chances of survival are slim. She often stays at the fringes of the meadow, close to the trees, where she knows she is most safe. Here she can relax for a while and just enjoy being a bear. Other creatures like this red fox, swift and stealthy, traverse the meadows, ever watchful. Moose can be seen in the early mornings as they venture to nearby marshlands. Porcupines also navigate the same meadows, their quill-adorned armor providing some protection as they travel through the bear's territory. Crimpier has chosen her cub's classroom a little farther away from the big meadow, near the South Beach, along the edges of the forest, and surrounding the slough. Whether in deference to Old Sow or the tragic memory of her previous litter, they spend most of their days in the tall grass. Here the cubs watch the playful river otter and the majestic eagles of the coast. When the tide goes out, both families head toward the coastal flats. The sows employ their remarkable sense of smell to detect the presence of razor clams hidden beneath the sand. With keen instincts, they locate the subtle scent trails left by these buried delicacies. Using their powerful forelimbs and sharp claws, the bears expertly excavate the sand, revealing the cylindrical burrows of the razor clams. They skillfully extract the clams from their sandy shelters, turning a simple beach into a bountiful buffet. The young cubs aren't skilled or strong enough to dig or extract, so the sows leave tidbits at the surface for them. While the old sow is methodical and stays in one area all morning to clam, Crimp Ear is more of a speed clammer. She finds a few clams in one area, then ambles down the beach to another area for the next snack, and continues up and down the entire tidal flat, forcing her young cubs to hurry to keep up. Rain or shine, every day finds the bears busy grazing in the meadows and feasting on the tidal flats. But like children everywhere, they become bored easily and always find time for play. Wrestling in a tangle of fur and grunts, they tumble and tussle. These playful escapades forge bonds of camaraderie and hone the agility, strength, and coordination they will need as adults. Tree trunks and downed tree limbs become their jungle gym as they climb and balance, and they also discover the bark holds tasty treats of grubs and insects. Even adult bears, at least those unencumbered by cubs, need to take a break now and then to scratch an itch. After all that play, this little guy just wants to make a bed and settle down for a nap. Until he realizes no one else is around. Where did everybody go? He quickly finds Mom and his sibling, but isn't happy that he has to keep moving. It's tough being a young cub, but as he reluctantly follows, he is building stamina and endurance. Finally, he is rewarded with some milk. It's a typical late afternoon in the meadow. Suddenly, Old Sow's acute senses detect an unfamiliar scent. She scans to find an unknown boar heading toward them. The need to protect her precious cubs is instinctual. With a low, warning huff that resonates through the air, she sends her wide-eyed cubs running across the meadow to scamper up a nearby tree, their tiny bodies moving with both fear and obedience. Swiftly, the sow follows suit, and with urgency, she also ascends, far up the towering refuge. The tall, sturdy pine shields and protects them, so they are barely visible. From their perch high above, the family watches as the boar swaggers into view. He only pauses momentarily to sniff before ambling down the road. Tired but safe, the family remains hidden and catches up on some much-needed rest. So in the face of potential threats, the cubs learn the importance of caution and observing the world with a watchful eye. As the days begin to shorten, the bears eat their meals with a fervent determination to gain the necessary fat reserves, essential for the coming winter. Crimp-ear's offspring are in the midst of shedding their once prominent white natal fur rings encircling their necks, as their new, rich brown coats emerge. In August, the salmon arrive, providing a new protein-packed food source that is plentiful and easily available. It will be a few more years before the cubs can master the art of fishing, but their first taste provides a promising introduction. In the meantime, razor clams are still a crucial food source, and the cubs are constantly improving their ability to find the hidden morsels. Old Sow's cubs are also becoming more independent and confident, more eager to explore, but still easily distracted. They are stronger and able to forage for their own food, but mother's milk is still the most important food source, and they will continue to nurse for another full year. The curious antics and newfound independence of the cubs showcase the incredible journey they've undertaken this first summer. They have met the challenges of their first season, their experiences shaping their lives in the wild for years to come. As summer draws to a close, our coastal brown bear cubs have come of age. Their first season of life filled with discovery, growth, and the promise of a future yet unwritten. It's time for them to make the journey into the mountains to a secure den that offers both safety and a comforting embrace from their mothers. Here they will slumber and continue to grow, undergoing a metamorphosis over the span of the next 6 months that will double to triple their weight. When the days grow longer once again, they will emerge from their winter sanctuary, eager to begin the next chapter of their adventures at Salmon Creek.